This is the fourth video in my series on classical games from the 19th and early 20th century. This was the fourth game of the second round match between Adolf Anderssen and Josef Szen at the 1851 London tournament. Szen was white and Anderssen was black. Play started with e4, c5, the Sicilian defence. After knight f3, knight c6, white chose the non-committal knight c3. Black responded with e6 when white played the innocuous bishop c4. This is not a good place for the bishop before white has played d4, as it can now be harassed by black's pawns. a6. Black threatens b5, intending to meet bishop b3 with c4, trapping the bishop. a4. White stops b5 directly. Knight on g to e7. Black now threatens d5. Queen e2. White prevents d5 because of e takes d5 when none of black's tries work. E takes d5, knight takes d5 wins a pawn. Or knight e4, knight takes d4, c takes d4, d takes e6, and taking the piece with d takes c3 leaves black in big trouble after e takes f7 check, king d7, d takes c3. White has 4 pawns for the piece and black's king is horribly exposed. Therefore, bishop takes e6 is forced, but bishop takes e6, f takes e6, knight e4, with an extra pawn and superior pawn structure for white. However, in the game, black developed smoothly with knight g6, d3, bishop e7, bishop e3, castles. White's pieces are ineffectively placed compared to black's, as the game demonstrates. After castles, black played f5, aiming to create pressure not only down the f-file but also along the long diagonal, by following up with the fianchetto of his bishop via b6 and bishop b7. E takes f5, rook takes f5, knight b1. This radical regrouping shouldn't work, but white didn't have any effective alternative. b6, c3, bishop b7, knight on b to d2. Now the direct d5 gives black total control of the centre. However, black was too focused on his original plan and allowed white the chance to gain counterplay in the centre. So, instead, black went queen c7. He looks to double rooks on the f-file and control the f4 square. However, this allows white to proceed with his plan. d4. Now, c takes d4, c takes d4, knight b4 looks the most effective way to build pressure. However, black was again too focused on his plan and went knight f4. Now, white should have played bishop takes f4, queen takes f4, g3, when he is well placed to neutralise black's pressure. Instead, he played queen d1, which put black back in charge. Now, black missed the tactical blow, knight takes g2. Play could go king takes g2, c takes d4, c takes d4, knight takes d4, bishop takes d4, queen f4. Now, bishop e3 fails to queen g4 check, king h1, rook takes f3. So white has to try rook g1, but after queen takes d4, bishop e2, queen f4, intending bishop b4 takes d2, white is under intolerable pressure. Instead, white played the natural rook on a to f8, which is also strong, but not as incisive. White should now have tried bishop takes f4, queen takes f4, queen e2, although c takes d4, bishop takes a6, bishop a8 still leaves him under considerable pressure. Instead, he went for d takes c5, b takes c5, bishop takes f4, queen takes f4, rook e1. But now black was able to build the pressure on the long diagonal further with knight e5, bishop e2, rook g5. The rook cannot be taken because of knight takes g5, queen takes f2 check, king h1, bishop takes g2, mate. So white tried king f1, but black's attack continued to build after knight g4, hitting h2. Here, white protected his h-pawn with h4. Now black has various strong continuations in the position. He managed to find the flashiest one. Queen h2. This forces the queen through to h1 as knight takes h2 loses to rook takes f2 check, king g1, rook takes g2 check, and king h1 is met by knight f2 mate, and king f1 is met by either knight takes h2 mate or knight e3 mate. White tried bishop c4 instead, but black finished effectively enough. Play went queen h1 check, king e2, queen takes g2, knight takes g5, bishop takes g5, h takes g5. White is a rook up for the moment, but that doesn't last long. Queen takes f2 check, king d3, queen f5 check, king e2, queen e5 check, king d3, knight f2 check, winning the queen. King c2, queen f5 check, king b3, knight takes d1, rook on a takes d1, queen takes g5. Black has won a queen and 3 pawns for a rook and knight, an obviously winning advantage, especially as the white king remains exposed. Bishop d3, rook f2, knight e4, c4 check, king a2, bishop takes e4, bishop takes e4, queen a5, rook a1, queen takes c3. And white resigned. He should be mated in a few moves.